But you probably know the part already. We were founded in 1836, and it was one of the first cemeteries in America that was designed to be a place that people are encouraged to have picnics and connect with their past loved ones versus like a scary, not very well kept up place that you don't really want to hang out in. So yeah, this is one of the first ones in the country, and that's always been interesting to me that so many other cemeteries also kind of like have imitated this style, but this is one of the first ones that there was. So, hi, my name is Julia Robinson. I'm 30 years old. I just started working here a month ago, and I'm the Administrative and Visitor Services Coordinator. You know, it's kind of hard not to be really interested in life and death and what that means and what cemeteries mean, because sometimes explaining to some people, like, I work in a cemetery now, they're like, well, that's not art related. I'm like, no, it's like an outdoor museum, especially this one, like the Victorian art and the monuments and the statues. Like, this is arts related for sure. So I really like this job also because you have moments of connecting with people really deeply. Because people come here, sometimes they're just visiting an ancient relative, or maybe they're visiting someone who just passed recently. There was a person who came in yesterday. Their father is a veteran who's buried out in California, but this person lives here now. So what they do when they occasionally is they bring flowers to a cemetery, and they just leave a flower on gravestones of other veterans because they have like a little flag out. Got to talk to them yesterday, and I saw them before and I saw them after, and I could just tell that they felt better and they felt more connected and grounded, and it's a special place.
I'm Mary Pat Klein from Brooklyn, New York. I do a multitude of things, but in conjunction with Laurel here, I work part-time for Greenwood Cemetery in Brooklyn, New York. Greenwood was established in 1838. I believe Laurel Hill was established in 1836, I believe. And they are rural cemeteries. That's what they're considered because they were established for the overflow as church cemeteries in urban areas came to be too crowded, and they needed more space to bury people. Today, cemeteries like these are still functioning cemeteries, but they're also historical sites with a lot of history and a lot of nature. The history that's involved with them of people that have come past, the stories that sometimes we remember, but sometimes we don't. And because that's all led to where we are today. And the art of, the monuments and the mausoleums and the headstones, it's really fascinating.
My name is Lise, and I live in Vermont, and I'm in Philadelphia visiting, and I'm 66. Before I came down to Philadelphia to visit my friend, I did a little research because I knew someone was buried here, some ancestor. There were some people, and I went and did a little homework on ancestry, and I had put some information in there, and there was a little story of this woman named Jemima Maris Welch. And she was born in 1775. And what was interesting was when her mother died, she was born Quaker here and around Philadelphia, a lot of Quakers. And so she was raised by her aunt who didn't believe in marriage. And so she and her sister didn't like that. And so they ran away from their aunt and went and got married very young. And she married well to this guy, John Welsh. She did very well for herself somehow. And there's a picture of her in that I had. I mean, this is a long time ago. She's long ago. But I just thought I didn't know much about her except that story. So I thought, oh, that's cool. That'd be a good reason to go find her. She's my ancestor. She was a woman who lived and somehow did something that she ended up passing her genes on to me 7 or 8 generations ago.
It's just you could pick anything and there's something connected, you know.
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Do you know about the Radium Girls? So there's a female physician and her husband. They were both physicians. They're buried at Laurel Hill West, and they were the ones that wrote the report that exposed the Radium Girls as, like, maybe we shouldn't be putting radium in our mouths because it's not good for you. But it's actually really wild because they were brought in by Big Radium. They did this report. They turned it in, and then the Radium company put out a different report that said, everything is great. These girls are so healthy. Everything, they're totally fine. So then they had to go ahead and put out the other one. And there was I think there was a lawsuit afterwards. But yeah, that's just one thing that happens to be connected here. Oh, do you want to know one last cool thing?
Yes, tell me everything.
So I was walking with my mom before I started this job, and we were walking on Millionaires Row, you know, with all the big mausoleums, and some of them have Tiffany glass, and they're very fancy. And my mom said, oh, Carson, maybe we're related. And I was like, yeah, okay, Mom, because Carson is a common last name. And then she was talking to my grandmother later, and apparently we actually are related to Robert Carson. I'm more closely related to his brother who moved to Iowa City, but I didn't know that they had started in Philadelphia. Debbie, it's on one of the tours. That's the one that he died during the performance at the opera, and the wife just sat there the whole time and didn't say anything, right? I'm pretty sure when I told Beth, she was like, oh, that's the one. So died during the performance, and then they just sat through the whole thing, and then afterwards the wife was like, I think she didn't want to interrupt it is what the story is, but